stele in between. Look, rectangle, standing rectangle. That's us.
Today, we're going to Bongwon-dong, a neighborhood named after Bongwonsa, a Buddhist temple near Yeongsanjae University. We will explore together with David Mason, the one and only guy in Korea, well, non-Korean, who knows pretty much everything there is to know about Buddhist temples in this country.
Bongwon-dong and Bongwonsa sit at the foot of Ansan Mountain. From here, several trails lead up to the summit, but ours will take us to the temple. Bongwon-dong is Seoul neighborhood number 135 out of 467. Yes, we're doing them all. So join the journey, subscribe if you haven't yet, and leave a like to help keep this series going. Now let's meet David Mason.
So guys, maybe you haven't noticed yet, but David today is wearing two different colors of shoes.
It's an ancient doctrine that the proper path to enlightenment is trod by wearing different colors of shoes, representing the yin and the yang duality of the world, and then coming up to the unity of color in the upper clothing.
No one can argue that.
No one can. This is the Korean Buddhist monastic order where monks can get married and have children. The husband or the wife could be a monk. And then temples in this order, all except the three biggest, greatest temples, belong to the entire order. But then all the other temples are privately owned, so it's like family property. The other order, the Jogye order of Korean Buddhism, which is the biggest one, all monks are celibate. They do not get married, do not have kids, and all the temples of that order belong to the order. They even rotate monks between the temples because they don't want monks starting to think that this is my
That
temple.
they own anything. We talked about this in the Bongwonsa video.
Yes.
Samsung-dong, Gangnam, where the monk for some time didn't want to leave.
Right.
Do you remember that was in
he stayed 15 years.
15 years.
Because it's the wealthiest temple in Korea, he didn't want to leave. He was running his own
That was a tiny bit controversial.
social programs and such.
By the way, guys, David Mason is back. We haven't introduced you
I'm
yet.
David A. Mason. Pleased to meet you. Former retired professor of cultural tourism for Korea. And today we are filming on Hangul Day.
You're right, it is today.
It is today.
The day that Jennie from Blackpink announced a new Hangul font.
Oh,
What a day.
that's gonna be popular. Now, this is the Budowon. A Budowon means a stupa garden. These contain the remains of cremation of great monks.
They're inside here.
Great monks and masters, yes. And then next to many of them are these bisak, stele,
Yes.
in English, a stele, a bisak with a turtle base and dragon cap on top.
All right.
And these are telling the name and biography of that master who's in the stupa. You have to be a certified master to get a stupa like this when you die. An ordinary monk without much accomplishment, they are cremated and the ashes get scattered in the forest and the streams.
Is there a reason it's always a dragon on top?
Well, yes, this monument represents heaven, earth, and humanity, the basic trinity of all Chinese philosophy. This is what the Korean flag came from. They just simplified this. Heaven, earth, and humanity. Now, turtle represents the earth, dragons in the clouds represent the heaven, and the stele in between, look, rectangle, standing rectangle. That's us.
Humanity.
See, humanity. It's a history monument. It's a record of what we did in between heaven and earth. We're standing on earth, under heaven, what we accomplished.
I visited plenty of temples before, but I never stopped at the Budowon, mostly because I didn't know what it was or what it meant. That's changed now. What a fascinating little place.
This temple is not only the headquarters of the Taego order of Korean Buddhism, but this temple is a nationally designated specialist place of one important Buddhist ceremony, the Yeongsanjae. But what this means, this is when Buddha taught the Lotus Sutra sitting on the peak of on the summit of Vulture Mountain. Then he appeased and fed all the spirits of the dead, at that time with his teachings. Therefore, this ceremony is held once every year and has been for more than 1,000 years in Korea for the spirits of the dead, to pacify them. It's a lot like All Saints' Day and Halloween, such customs of Europe. In modern times now, this Yeongsanjae ceremony is held every Korean Memorial Day, which is June 6th. It used to be for all the national dead to feed the ghosts, the hungry ghosts, feed them and pacify them so they would not do bad things to the country, would not bother the country with hauntings. Even when Buddhism was illegal for 500 years under the Joseon dynasty, the kings of Korea kept paying certain temples to do these ceremonies on behalf of the nation. It's that important. And it is officially an intangible cultural heritage of Korea,
All right.
official government thing, and UNESCO has recognized it as an official intangible cultural heritage of the world, and therefore it needs a headquarters office for that ceremony, and this is
this is the headquarters
office.
I love learning about these intangible ancient traditions, and I definitely want to come back to witness one in person. Speaking of pacifying spirits, the last time I was here, I learned about Korea's notorious serial killer, Young-chul, who buried many of his victims near this temple in the early 2000s. A tragic and deeply sad chapter of modern Korean history.
어우, 무서워서 우리가 매일 이렇게 산으로 다녔거든.
네.
산에를 못 다녀서 그 뉴스 나오고서부터 산에를 못 다니고 이 절 뒤로 해서
11명.
11구. 어쩐지 우리 산에 다닐 때 그 지나갈 때 냄새가 그렇게 썩은 냄새가 막
아,
나더라고.
그래요?
그러고 나서 얼마 있다 그게 터진 거야.
But temples usually have an official gate, an entrance gate.
And this does not.
And this does not.
There is no Il-chul moon with the temple name, nor a four heavenly kings gate. This temple was destroyed in the Korean War, and almost everything we're going to see is modern. Another good example in architecture of heaven, earth, and humanity. Many palaces, and the Jongmyo Royal Shrine has two of these. The palaces often have one or two in each palace, and some of the greatest Buddhist temples have this. And what I mean is a square pond with a round island and something standing on it. And that's heaven, earth, and humanity. Square is like, think of a farm field, is the shape of earth. Then round is the shape of heaven. And standing is humanity, that's us. Something standing, it can be anything. In Gyeongbok Palace in the back, it's a tea house.
Yeah.
A two-story tea house is standing up. See, that means heaven, earth, and humanity. Now this tree,
Yes.
it's a holy tree,
Is it?
certainly. Yes, yes. Natinamu, a Palawina tree. It's like 500 years old.
The temple may not have survived the Korean War. The tree definitely did.
These are the 16 Nahan. Before Sakyamuni died, the original teacher of Buddhism, he had like 500 fully enlightened disciples who had brought to enlightenment, but he chose 16 of them, the 16 best and greatest. He chose them and said, you will be the masters after I die. 16 of them. And each one of them, after Sakyamuni died, got their own disciples and started their own lineage of Buddhism. This is why we have various different schools of Buddhism in the world. They're real human beings, and you can see their personality. They're kind of joking and funny looking.
They have a little of a horror element to it. Is that
No,
intentional?
well,
Some of them.
It's not supposed to be horror.
No, I know.
Some of them look rather despondent.
I'm already fascinated with all the information David is throwing at me, but the history was something I didn't quite expect.
Now, this temple was founded by National Master Dosun. He lived in the 800s and was devoted to geomancy in particular. He's the one who imported Chinese Taoist geomancy to Korea, feng shui or feng shui, as we call it, and he created what we call pungsujiri, which is Korean geomancy, because he recognized that Korea is quite a different landscape than China. He went around, he founded temples, like 70 temples, either he founded himself or he recommended that Taego Wangun should start those temples, and they were started. No other Korean Buddhist figure has that many. 3 of them are right here in Seoul, including this one. He built 3 temples in the north part of Seoul in a triangle. Temple, temple, and then temple. Focusing energy. If you look at these 3 temples and draw a line between them, the temples meet right at the center of downtown Seoul. Focusing sacred energy in here to make a future capital. This is the western mountain of that triangle. This is this temple. The one Dosunsa, named after Master Dosun, that we did before. That's the central one. And then Bulamsa on the west, which is right on the border of Seoul and Namyangju, that's the eastern temple. This temple originally was not here. It was on the other side of that ridge.
That is Ansan.
On the other side is today Yeongsanjae University. That's where this temple originally was. But it had repeated fires. So in the 1300s, they moved the temple due to some geomancy figuring.
So Dosun was wrong about the first location.
Maybe we could say so, but I would not dare to say that Master Dosun was wrong about anything. But it can be in feng shui that the energy shifts.
Yeah.
Next, we walked into the 3000 Buddha Hall, which is impressive for all its Buddhas. But it's something else that caught my eye, and I've been obsessed ever since. It's called the Sweet Dew painting, that you can see at many temples, but never did I know it's about the Yeongsanjae, and never did I pay much attention to the details, specific drawings and all of that.
This is all reality. Now look up above, 7 Buddhas are across there kind of governing the universe.
Yes.
And various bodhisattvas are next to them, and there's a great Buddhist altar in front of them. Then right down here, see monks doing a ceremony?
Yeah.
They're doing the Yeongsanjae ceremony.
Ah.
Then over on the other side and all down here, you may see it's just ordinary human life. People are just doing things, villagers. There's a thief robbing people, and there's a gentleman sitting and talking.
Someone gets spanked there.
And down here, people are getting punished.
Yeah.
This is more hell scenes. This is hell. This is hell, where people are being punished. So it's heaven and earthly reality and hell. Look down here in hell, there is a shaman, a mudang.
Oh yeah.
A Korean shaman is performing her dance. Look here, a person is attacking, kind of strangling him and gonna hit him with the wine bottle. He's committing murder. And it's very interesting because they show that Yeongsanjae ceremony.
But what a fun painting to look at. There's so much to see.
Great painting, yes.
Yeah, there's so much to see.
I could write an entire book
just about this.
These paintings.
And these two gentlemen.
Now, these 2 gentlemen are what are called hungry ghosts. Hungry ghosts. They're kind of demons who can never be satisfied with anything. They're always feeling hungry. It's an image of human desire then, our craving. We always want something more, something new, and we're never satisfied. We go shopping and then we're very happy for one day, their new stuff, but 2 days later, we're discontent again. We want to go shopping again. The endless human desire is represented by hungry ghosts, and the Yeongsanjae ceremony then focuses on feeding the hungry ghosts.
I was about to say that,
With Buddhist ritual ceremony, you're actually able to, they pile up food on the altar and are able to feed them and at least temporarily pacify them then to rest in peace.
We found 2 other Sweet Dew paintings in other halls, but smaller in size, and therefore we could see the drawing from top to bottom so much better. Like the tiger, the boy falling out of the tree, the shaman, hell, and of course the Yeongsanjae, and so much more. Brilliant.
Bad karma. here we have
Yeah.
former Korean President Park Chung-hee, 1961 to 79. Military dictator Park Chung-hee, we might call him the Great Dictator. He was a terrible man who denied democracy and human rights, and on the other hand, he made Korea rich. He put in the correct economic policies that led directly to the economic success today. Nobody can argue with that. He did both in 18 years. And next to him is his wife. He is enshrined permanently in this temple, the same as in Dosansa, the other temple we did together. The reason is, this is national headquarters of the sect, and they're appreciating him and his wife for what they did for Korean Buddhism. As he modernized Korea, he did include the Buddhists. Some people object, especially younger Koreans who've been raised by very leftist school teachers, only focus on the denial of democracy and human rights, and the people who got killed and the people who are tortured in prison. And that's true. That's a side of it. But also, he made Korea rich.
But the people who love Park Chung-hee still today, Koreans, they may even disagree with calling him a dictator.
I'm not sure.
That's what I got from our last
Really?
Udon video. Yeah.
Oh,
People were in
well-
the comment section, they were like, why do you call him dictator?
If you consider that a negative word, then yeah, people, legally he was president
Yeah.
of Korea, and there were some elections which he made sure that he won. But if you just take dictator as a descriptive word, that he had kind of absolute power over this nation, I mean, nobody could argue with that.
It's a definition.
He had the power.
I know it's a lot to take in, trust me when I say I haven't even shown half of the interesting stuff David told me about this temple. But there's one more curiosity we have to fulfill. The mountain spirit, David's favorite, and a partly shamanic display you find at every temple.
My favorite guy?
Aha, here he is.
We have 3 of these in this temple. There are 3 paintings of the mountain spirit. Well, he represents the mountains, which are the most beautiful aspect of Korea. He's Lord of the mountains, symbol of the mountains. He has a red pine tree with him, the king of all plants. A tiger is always with him, the king of wild animals. Servants are bringing him herbal medicines and fruits that represent longevity and good health. So it's all about being healthy and harmony in nature, even growing old as an elder, but still being healthy and vital and enjoying nature in harmony and balance. It's humanity, and it has various religious symbols in it. Included in this painting is shamanism, Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, and the Korean national spirit. The idea of simply Korea itself, because the founder of Korea, Dangun, on the Inwangsan Mountain, the shrine, Dangun, founder of Korea, when he retired as first king of Korea, he became a mountain spirit. It's a multi-religious painting. It's one of the reasons it fascinates me.
And to the Buddhists, it doesn't matter because they always have the Sanchingak at their temples.
And they do have it in their temple because he's landlord. It's his mountain. They just want to stay here. By giving offerings to him and venerating him, they're paying rent.
I see.
Pay rent for living here. And he protects them with health, natural environment.
At the entrance of the temple is an old Korean sauna where you can have decently affordable barbecue. It's a great way to finish a visit to the temple and for digesting everything we talked about. That concludes Bongwon-dong, and it goes on the map as home to the Yeongsanjae.
The great national master named Manbong, he was the officially designated national master of Danchong, which means painting Korean temples.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next neighborhood video. Howdy.
Right on. See you again.